Hey Libra. So we're doing shadow work, huh? Welcome to Time Wit T. You might be saying like, what the hell is this shadow work stuff? Like you might have clicked this like, that pic seemed kind of spooky. What is this shadow work? Nothing like that. So some people are like looking at themselves. They're going through a huge transformation. Ideas, concepts, things like that. And sometimes, you know, we feel stuck, and the blockage could be fear. It could be generational stuff, you know, like they said. So, you know, and it could be ego, you know, whatever it is. Sometimes we get stuck in it. So I'm here to see what we can do. Let's see what source, you know, says, because there's been a lot of assists. So it's like insight into what each sign is dealing with. Some aren't stuck. Some are just, you know, moving through it, which is beautiful. So let's see what you got going on in this process, Libra, okay? It's always good. Like, no one can do it for you, but it's good to know you're not alone, right? Like, someone's gone through it and can say, hey, here's this, but you got divine energy right now. Wow, you're going through an intense rebirth. What makes this intense? Isn't that crazy? Decision. You got like the breakthrough, the tower. So you're like kicking and screaming. You're having birthing pains right now. You're in labor. It doesn't feel right. It hurts. You're remembering things. You're going through forgiveness. You're going through, I'm not forgiving this. You're going through a lot right now, Libra. You're going through trying to understand why things happen the way they do. But this is what it's going to be. See that? So riding on a camel, coming out of a ferocious lion playing the flute. So the lion doesn't, you know, the lion represents strength and terror, right? This lion, the way the artist depicts this, it does not look like strength. It looks like you used to wear a tough coat to protect your inner self, your innocence. So you were hard. Look at it. You're coming out of that into a new self. That's the rebirth. And there's the fear, there's the thought of, how am I going to protect myself? It's intense. It's like, how am I going to be okay? Because this is a cruel world. Like, how does this work? Because I'm not strong enough all the time. How am I going to do it by myself? How am I going to be okay? Right? I don't trust. I felt that. And that's weird, because I am hearing and feeling that you don't trust, but you have faith. So where does your faith lie, Libra? Do you have faith in something that is not even truly proven? Or do you have faith in you? That you are reevaluating a lot. You're having a breakthrough. This feels like the Hierophant in reverse. Just really reevaluating everything. that you thought was real. And I think you're suffering in silence. If anyone knows, only a few people might know what you've been dealing with and going through. And that's like paying homage to self and respect for what you've been through. You know, no one can take that from you. But you're ready for something different because some of you feel like when you leave this plane, you want to have left a contribution. The first contribution is to yourself. Your first contribution is honoring yourself. And here's your tower moment. The old is falling away, and a decision has to be made. And what a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful card, the breakthrough. So it looks like a child busting through in the light, hands up in the air. Look at those hands up, breaking through. Amazing you. Some of you feel that. So that's the second child I see. So that's honoring inner you. That's honoring little you. Some of you are offering people forgiveness for things that maybe they didn't know, and they may not still know impacted you. And others of you, and then there's parts that you're like, I can't forgive that, and I don't have to forgive that. There's a lot of teaching out here, like you forgive for yourself, right? And I don't know where that came from. I think that that's appropriate in some cases, but it can't be a general rule. There are some things I cannot forgive. It's not my job to forgive. I can dust my feet and I have let go, but I don't forgive. I don't have to. I don't know who taught us that. Forgiveness sets you free. No, it may set the other person free. Some things are forgivable, but some things aren't. So if you're struggling with that belief system, you get to define for yourself what works for you. And that's that. And no one can tell you any different. You can disagree with what I just said, and I can't tell you any different. I can just tell you that in this shadow work journey, it is not about holding values that others told you were proper values. You are defining your value system. You are defining who you are and what resonates with your soul. And Source is really on this. Like, I'm sitting here and I'm like, I want to move on. And Source is like, no, Libra, you need to understand that that dogma is incorrect. It is incorrect. Some things are unforgivable. And that's okay. Sometimes realizing that and not holding it anymore sets you free to say, okay, I don't have to be a victim of that. I don't have to come humbly before someone and say, I forgive you, when they hold the responsibility of the action. Some things people do in ignorance, and it's okay to forgive some things, but you get to define what scale that's on for you, okay? And participation. So y'all are ready to get some things done. Y'all are ready to be a part of life. And Source says go. Do that. But Source says, be kind to yourself and understand that trust aspect, trust is earned, but you don't enter into things in defense. Look at this friendliness card. It's like a mirror. It's very pretty. It's connecting. And in order to do that, you can't have a low vibe attached with like a side eye, like, You have to wholeheartedly. You have to be very intelligent in your movements, and while you're, actively participating, you have to definitely use your intuition and intelligence, and don't just jump balls out into some stuff, and try to save the world. Everyone doesn't want to be saved. Some just want to take advantage. So some things, Libra, you have to understand are choices. And now in this rebirth and this breakthrough, you get to choose carefully now what you entertain, and where you want to help everyone. That's where you got taken advantage of sometimes. And you've learned that, and you're like, so this new me, how do I deal with that? Right? You just don't entertain certain things. That's just not your job. I tell myself that. I'm like, that's not my job. I can help someone, right? And if they keep coming back like, oh, I need this, or what about that? And they could be in a totally, they could be freaking out. They could be angry. They could be whatever they are, right? It's their experience. That's them. That's not mine. That don't have nothing to do with me. That's not my job. That's not my job. And I choose what parts I want to participate in that situation. I don't full jump in and, do what Tauruses do and fix things. No, no, no. I will allow others to see their strengths by throwing a bone and letting them figure the rest out, if I feel like that. So there's a freedom in this, Libra, in this rebirth, totally free. And that's where that intensity comes in. You need to realize how truly free you are to decide and choose who and what and where, okay, and how. And here you are. Look at that. The flowering going on. You are going to look so badass because people aren't gonna, they're going, the respect of, okay, because you're going to set boundaries. And you're not just going to jump in the mouth of the lion anymore, but you're not going to walk around defense either. You are finding that balance and the abundance that's going to come in from that. Reaping and sowing. You wanting to go out there and be a part of the action, but to be protected, and not walk people's walk for them anymore, and not hold their hand through it. Because look at what you've come through on your own. Look at all of this work you've done. And you did that. Everyone else has that capacity. So you could be investing time into someone and they just totally just playing games. They're not going to do the work. So you have to release some of that intensity by releasing some of the responsibility that others should be holding for themselves. Okay? And you are going to have plenty of opportunities to practice because life is going to keep bringing it to you and bringing it to you. So that even once you've mastered it, you get to look at yourself and say, man, I remember old me would have tried to do ... I would have reacted like this. I would have done that. I would have let people take advantage and then felt bad. All of that gone. You're going to look and be like, man, old me would have handled this differently. And it's going to feel so good. So good. Let me see how much time we got. Courage. Perfect. Look at that. That flower came through some rock. It's not even gravel or dirt or grass. It sprouted through rock, through stones. Let go of the fear and the worry. Let go of that ego and that pride that's worried about what everybody's going to think about new you. Look at yourself. Look, be kind to yourself. See yourself, who you truly are, and let that light continue to shine because you were already that light. You just had to do some work to get rid of some things that were implanted in you to create your own story and self and belief and way of moving in this life. And now it's time for you to share that. It is time, the flowering, it's time to open up. It's time to open up. Know that you're going to get lessons to help you stay focused. They're going to come and they're to help you stay focused. Like you're going to be like, whew, okay, I recognize this for what it is. Let me handle it, right? You know? Yeah, totally consciousness. Look at that. Very aware. What a huge rebirth. So yeah, that's where you're at in the process. You just need to really trust yourself. You're not trusting yourself. The intensity is there because you're just like, no one ever told me that I really could think and believe and move and operate how I truly want. You know what I mean? You were kind of a pleaser, you know? You were the matriarch. You were the one that sheltered everybody. And now you're like, you know what? Crappy people are crappy people. Beautiful people are beautiful people. We all have flaws, but I'm not about to make excuses for your flaws anymore because I'm not making excuses for mine anymore. And that's how you're thinking. You're just afraid. That's ego, though. You can do it. You didn't come this far to quit. I know, right? Let me get you some numerology cards. Okay. Yeah. So take things in baby steps, in moderation. You don't have to jump out and, start shouting, I am who I am, and trying to save the world all at once. All things in moderation. And then you have music. So you really need to, it's going to help you feel better. It's going to help you get in touch with you, music. Listen to what you like. Feel good. It'll raise your vibe. It'll help you get through some of this emotional stuff that you worry about because you're like, my people are not going to understand me. And they don't have to. That's a control thing. That's ego. They don't have to. You have to understand you and love. People don't have to understand you. People don't have to understand me. I'm good. I learned that those people go home and live their life. And I can either let them impact mine and second guess and look at myself and worry about what people think, or I can go live my life like they finna go do theirs and forget that they inserted some garbage into my space, so I don't allow it. All right. 7 is your number. Stay well, Libra. That is your shadow work reading. I hope it helps.